Hi everyone, let's learn how to make a cartoon of yourself in PowerPoint. This is useful for making presentations more interesting. If you're a teacher or a student who wants to impress the class. Or maybe you're a professional who wants to promote your business. Or just want to have some fun with your friends. Join me as I show you how to animate yourself in several different ways, including the coolest way, which is with CrazyTalk Animator, a separate software which lets you add some really interesting cartoon effects to your presentations. So let's look at the different cartoon animation types. There are ones I call 3D, even though they're not exactly 3D, but they're less flat than the 2D, which are much more basic, but can still look very cool. Now let's examine these one by one. First, we have the CrazyTalk Animator option. This is actually a program that you have to get separately, but if you want to do pretty advanced cartoon animation, which a lot of my viewer requests seem to indicate, this is definitely something to consider since it looks much more cool and professional. In fact, here are some other examples of what you can do. So for the next 5 minutes or so, I'll give you a quick demo of how to make a basic cartoon of yourself in CrazyTalk and then export it to PowerPoint. I'll then show you the other cartoon techniques from the intro that don't require any additional software. So let's jump in. As a quick little demo of CrazyTalk, let me just show you how you can take a picture of yourself and make it into a simple but fun jumping character. And while I'm doing this, I'll show you some other cool features of the program as well. So here is the home screen, and let's just start by going to Create, then Create Face. And now just choose a picture of yourself. Try to take one that's looking forward with a neutral expression, no long hair past your chin. I have mine pulled back behind me, as you can see. So first we crop it so it's just framing your face. Now we just go to the face fitting options and we just move the dots here as you see in the guide on the right. And you may have used a face fitter like this before if you've ever worked with an e-card service, for example, such as JibJab, in which you can put your face on an animated character. Okay, once you're done with this, you can test it out by hitting some of the buttons on the right here. And for example, you get this very cool but also sort of creepy test of the facial animation. Okay, and finally we adjust the angle fit for the face, and we're basically done. And now we're ready to crop our face so it looks more realistic. Clicking on this mask editor button here, you'll get this window. And some people actually say that this feature is comparable to Photoshop quality in terms of how precisely it guesses where your face is. So from this default setting, you can then hit the background button and clean it up more to make sure your face is very well cut out. And I'm just doing this quickly, but if I were to do this for real, I'd be much more careful. And then you can soften the edges of the face to make it blend in better with the background. Okay, we're done, and now we're ready for the rest of the body. Let's go to our content editor and choose a body we like. Then shift the head upward a little bit. And since I'm bald, let's just add some hair on top of that. So we choose a hairstyle here and adjust the shape of the hair. Now the next step is really fun, which is adding the eyes. So we go to the morph eye option and go to human eye. Then we choose from a variety of colors and styles. I'll use elegant and then click on the eye icon up here to get some additional options. Already you can see how cool that looks. And let me just show you a few of the options here. You can roll one or both eyes back or front or to the side, for example. You can also play around with your eyeshadow and makeup to be lighter or darker, which is really cool. And the best part is you can change your eye color or iris, and I'll just make it match my hair for now. Here's what it looked like before, just for reference. And with this button here, you can now see how your eyes move around, which is kind of interesting. And you can also blink your eyes with this button. So if you've ever considered colored contacts, for example, this feature is really cool for kind of trying on different eye colors and styles or even different makeup types. Okay, so now we have our character and let's add animation. So we click the top left button here and go to animation, then perform. And all of these motions here are already preset with voices and facial expressions for various characters to make it easy. This is really useful for kind of a quick animation job, but obviously if you choose something that's for a different gender than what your character is, so for example, the one I'm choosing is for a guy, then that's not ideal.
Yeah, woohoo!
But for this, let's just pretend that I have a cold and I'm losing my voice. I'm just very hoarse or something. So we have both our character and animation now, and we can actually go ahead and export to PowerPoint. And there are currently two ways to do this. The first is to make an animated GIF file. This is really easy. Just go to render and then quick capture to clipboard. And you can choose to loop it forever or loop it a certain number of times. And I want it looping continuously, so I'll hit OK. Now the character is in your clipboard, so just go to PowerPoint and paste it in. And then when you view in presentation mode, this is what you get. And notice that when you paste the GIF in, it does not contain the sound that you put in, in this case, it actually works out better for me because I didn't want that really manly voice anyway. But if you do want sound, you'd have to either add a sound file to PowerPoint to play kind of at the same time as the GIF, or an even better way to do it is to export to video directly from CrazyTalk. And that way you can embed the video into PowerPoint and then you'll have the sound and everything there for you. And that's what I'll show you right now. So if we're making a video, we might as well add a cool background. So let's check out some of the scenes we have available. Let's choose the street scene here and adjust the character position. And now we just go to the render options again and choose render video this time. And you can change the export format of the video if you like. And I'll just reduce the frames that we're exporting here to make it go faster. Okay, now we're done, and here's what we have.
Yeah, woohoo!
Or if you double the speed, you can get chipmunk style.
Yeah, woohoo!
And like I said, you can now embed this into PowerPoint as a video if you have 2010 or later. And again, this was just a super quick tutorial to give you a small taste of the software. There are many more detailed tutorials on CrazyTalk, which you can find in the video description. So while CrazyTalk is for those who want to learn really advanced and professional animation, if you just want to kind of play around and experiment with animating yourself, there are still some very cool ways to do that in PowerPoint alone, which I'll show you right now. The first of these is what I call video face. This particular one is actually best done in PowerPoint version 2010 and above, since earlier versions don't really support embedding video, but stay tuned for other cartoon techniques that can be done in earlier versions. Okay, so for this, let's start with a video of our face. And while you're talking, try to minimize your head movements for best results. And we'll just crop it to an oval here using format, then video shape. Now adjust the size of this by going to crop so you have just your face showing and nothing else. And great, we have our video face. Now let's add the hair to make it more realistic. For this example, I'll show you the redhead picture that I used for the intro video. So just go to the Office Clip Art library. In 2013, you do it by going to Insert Online Pictures and just search for redhead. This is a vector image, so we can actually ungroup and use parts of it the way that we want. And for more on how to use vector images, look in the video description and check out my other videos specifically on this topic. So to ungroup, right click and go to group and then ungroup, hit yes, and then do it again. Now we can play around with the different pieces of this picture. I'll first remove the face so I can replace it with my own video face. And this picture has a bang or a front hair layer that needs to be brought to the front. So we just do it here like this, bring to front. And there you go, you're basically done. Now, as a final step, what I also like to do is make the video color match the picture. So first, I recolor the video. Let's choose an orange here, for example, to match the picture. Then change the contrast settings. And that's already nicer. It's kind of more orangey to match that picture. But we can make it even better by changing the neck color. And in 2013, I can use my eyedropper to recolor these sections exactly based on the video face. And there you go, you're done, and this is what it looks like. The other thing I want to show you quickly is how to make a video face when the character is moving, as it's a little bit tricky. So here I have my picture all ready to go. And if you want the original picture that I used to manipulate here, you can search for red carpet in the clip art. Here the character is a female with orange hair, which is one single grouped layer here. I also have the front hair piece here as well, kind of the bang layer. So let me just paste the video face in here, which is already ready to go, cropped, recolored, etc. And I'll just put the hair on top of it to make that fit. And what I want to show you here is the animation. Okay, for the animation, we want to start with the body, not the video. So simply use a straight motion path to the left. And now we use the animation painter to do it on the video. And then the same thing for the front hair piece. Now, if you leave it this way, the video will move, but it won't actually play. So here's the trick that took me a little time to figure out. What we have to do actually is add animation to the video and then hit this play button here. Now it will actually play as well. And now we make this all start with previous, and let's just make the motion path last 5 seconds so it's nice and smooth. And that's it. Here's what it looks like. This is actually a pretty quick and easy way to make yourself into a cartoon. So if you have version 2010 and above, I really recommend trying it. Another sort of funky option for animating yourself is what I call the Egghead Method. This is something that is used in famous cartoons like South Park and is simple enough to be done in any version of PowerPoint. So we start out with a picture of our face, and we crop it to shape and choose oval. Now crop again and adjust it so that everything is well cut out. If you have an earlier version of PowerPoint to crop it, you can just color around your face and then set that color to transparent color, like I show you in my reveal effect video. So I'll put a link to it. Now that we're here in one way or another, let's paste this as a picture. So we copy this, then paste as a picture, and we crop out the bottom jaw. And then copy and paste, or Control D to duplicate. And now crop again and go down to the bottom and then align the pieces. Let's add some hair. And again, this is a vector image that I found in the clip art gallery. Just see the video description for more info. And let's resize it here so it fits, and then group with the top part of the head. Now let's add animation. For the most simple kind of animation, you just add a motion path and then make it go up. And in effect options, take out smooth start and smooth end, add auto reverse, and make it repeat 5 times. Change the timing to 0.1 second. And this is how it looks. You can make this kind of chomp up and down as long as you're talking. The more complicated but cooler way, though, is to rotate the head slightly left and right as it goes up, as I had in the intro video. So for this, we change the motion path so that it goes about 45 degrees to the side. And then we add a spin in the same direction. So if it's going left, it'll be counterclockwise. And also make it 45 degrees and do auto reverse. Now let's just take out the repeat from the motion path and make the spin also 0.1 second and make it start with previous. And here's where it gets a little tricky. Let's add another animation and appear and put it into the front. We also add a disappear and put it at the end. Now let's fix these start times. This one is after previous, this is with previous, and this is after previous. Okay, let's duplicate the picture, and we now change the motion path to 45 degrees the other way. And we change the spin direction to be clockwise. And we align these on top of each other, select both of them, and now copy and paste or duplicate many times. Now select just enough area so that the bottom jaw will be selected. Cut it for now. And now select and align all of these pictures so that they're all kind of on top of each other. And we can paste the jaw now and align it to the bottom piece here. Let's just get rid of this last disappear animation and see what it looks like. Kind of silly, but very cool. And check out some South Park episodes, especially with the Canadian characters, to see this technique done in a professional setting. A variation of the egghead technique is what I call the Nutcracker, because the jaw moves downward exactly like on a classic Nutcracker. For this, I won't bore you with making the face again. Let's just start with a pre-made one. And this time I have my own hair, so it's not a vector image. And what we do here is just duplicate the face and then crop so it's just the jaw showing. We then put it right on top of the other face and make sure that it's aligned correctly. Now let's make a rectangle where the jaw is and color it black. It needs to be slightly narrower than the jaw. And bring the jaw to the front so it's in front of the black box. Okay, let's take the jaw and add a motion path down and just pull it up a bit, and you can hit shift so it goes up in a straight line. And just like we did with the basic egghead technique, we go to effect options, take out the smooth start and smooth end, add auto reverse, and let's make it repeat 10 times this time. Again, the timing is 0.1 second. And let's test it out. Not too bad. This is a technique that's used in the JibJab eCard software, so you can see it there too. Now, one quick thing I wanted to show you is that for these vector images, you can play around with animating the body as well. For example, in this teacher graphic, I made her arm and the stick thing move. To do this, you have to make sure that the pivot point, or the place where it rotates, is right in the middle here. So if you want it to rotate at a joint, you have to group it with a transparent image like here that's the same length as the thing that you're rotating. So here's how I did it with the arm and the stick. You just give it a couple of degrees of a spin animation and it adds a really cool additional effect. Okay, finally, we've come to the last and maybe the simplest technique, which is the stop motion. Basically, this involves layering images on top of each other like a flip book in order to make it look like they're moving. And if you want to do this while talking, you can make a screenshot of yourself for every syllable that you pronounce so that you move your mouth with the words. This is what I did here. And by the way, wanna, I know that's 2 syllables, but if you kind of slur it quickly, then you can kind of make it 1 syllable. What I also did was give the pictures a cool cartoon effect by making the color 75% black and white. So before you do the animation, you have to make sure that the pictures are all on top of each other. So the easiest thing to do is to just go to Align and then use the options there to make it work. And the animation itself is very easy. You just select everything and then add an appear animation to all the pictures. Then make them all start after previous. Give them a delay of about 0.25 seconds. And then play. And that is it. Well, hopefully you've learned some new things about how to animate with PowerPoint, both in conjunction with other programs like CrazyTalk or by using PowerPoint's own video, picture, and animation options. And I also hope that you've been really inspired to experiment a little and find some combination of these techniques that works best for you. So thanks for watching once again, and see you for my next video.